Hi, everyone. This is Christy Kruger, anchor and health reporter right here at WPLG TV in South Florida. And you're watching the NAB show live.
Live from Las Vegas, this is NAB Show Live, produced by Broadcast Beat.
This is Val Pinchbeck, producer-director at WTOG CW44 in Tampa, Florida. You're watching NAB Show Live, produced by Broadcast Beat.
Live from Las Vegas, this is NAB Show Live, produced by Broadcast Beat. Here's your host, Jeff Adams.
Here we are, NAB Live 2016. Today we're going to be talking about video switching hardware solutions, which is going to be one of the amazing things. We have a fantastic guest here, StreamStar. But a little bit, during the week we've been broadcasting live here since Sunday, and we're doing it, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 p.m. There's tons of coverage that we're doing. We're doing live remotes. We've got tons of guests coming in. Anything you need to know about NAB, you're going to get it here at NAB Live. So with that, let's get right to it. Let's roll with this video here, and then I'll introduce the guests real quick. So let's roll with this intro here, and we'll get to it. Pop, pop, pop. That was like double time. That was like a, what do they call it? Not the drum and bass. Yeah, drum and bass. Remember drum and bass? Drum and bass music? Well, anyways, I'm here. I mean, this is one of the highlights for me because this company excites me very much. I'm here with Radotov from StreamStar, CEO. How's it going?
Nice to meet you. Fine. It's great.
You're doing fantastic?
Perfect.
You're looking sharp.
Thanks.
Smooth like Jagger. Want me to sing smooth?
You're crazy, man.
Huh?
You're crazy.
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I am crazy because I'm doing this live broadcast right now.
Yeah.
And there's people watching, they're like, my God, what is this? This is an NAB Live, don't panic. It's okay. I know you guys taking a coffee break, moving through, but everything will be okay. You just gotta look at it as bad cable television at this point. Because I mean, it's really what it is, right? You're passing through and yeah. So anyways, Rado, very excited about this product that you have.
Thank you.
And we're actually, in a few minutes, we're going to go via live to your booth to talk about this fantastic unit, which is, tell us the name of the unit.
X4.
The X4. I mean, that sounds pretty top secret, man.
Yeah, we were the first actually, but BMW go first, so it's a funny story.
The X4. I mean, that sounds like high tech, like you'd find something at Area 51. But it's fascinating to me because, in this line, in this field, there's so many options out there for video switching. What I like about this unit is the price point is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's affordable. And you can do high-end production, and you can actually afford to do it. And the capabilities with this unit, it is simple, very simple to use. What I find fascinating about this project. How did you come up with the idea? With the marketplace, would come up with the X4?
We were listening for almost 1.5 years that what people are asking for and what our segment is going for. So we find out that it has to be at some price point at 5K, around the 5K. So we decided to somehow make it, and this is it. We finally released the X4, which is really the most affordable solution on the market for live production, and not only for sports, because it had a unique feature like a 4-channel replay in slow motion at that price point and built in with a single operator workflow. So it's also good for churches and all kind of other verticals which are on the...
What I like about the option for the church,
yeah,
you have the instant replay thing. So if someone's getting baptized,
Yeah, yeah.
Literally, they could come back out of the water in slow-mo, right?
That's the future of church.
I say a joke, but that would actually be pretty cool, actually. Go on, I'm sorry, I had to say that.
So then it comes up, we reach the price point, we reach the form factor, because it's a nice small 2U unit, and that's it. We have the nice features inside.
Well, what are some of the features? Let's open up the hood a little bit. We're going to go live in a minute to your booth, and you'll be able to see this.
Can stream HD, can do ISO recording, program recording, 4-channel instant replay slow motion, and it has a unique workflow of operation. So, even my daughter, which is 8 years old, she can.
She's watching you right now.
Yeah, she's watching. Hi,
tell her what's up. What's up,
Christina? Say, Christina.
Christina, what's up?
Yeah. So she can operate it. When I brought it home, she just started switching, and she was a director in 5 minutes. That's it.
I got to tell you, it is very easy to use. I mean, even if you're doing a church production or you can't afford, this is a huge set. There's a lot of people working this set, but most people don't have the money to do sets like this when they do live production. So this unit, I'm comfortable enough. If I have to take a potty break and I'm switching, I can tell my friend that's drinking a beer behind me. Exactly. I say, hey man, I got to go to the bathroom, and literally I could just say, hey, just do this, and he could immediately start switching, and you'll look total pro. I mean, it's not intimidating. And most of these video switches, they're very intimidating. You got to know the ins and outs of video switching to understand this. So anybody, with the integration with Facebook Live, it's blown up. It's a game changer. I mean, literally anybody can take their broadcast, instead of broadcasting from their phone now, they can go in and take the next step. I think the next step for outside, how do I look more professional outside of the phone? This is the next step where you say, hey, how can I get lower thirds? How can I have the instant replay features?
Yeah, it's all there. It's like CG built-in, the unlimited playlist, media, shooting, everything basically. Also, which we done with JVC Kenwood, it's possible to control the camcorders over IP, or also it's possible to receive the IP streams inside as a camera sources. So that's really all what you need is there.
Yeah, Ryan, see, we're on live TV right now, Ryan. You're talking in my ear. You're like the voice of God right now. See, I'm hearing things in my head that you're not hearing, and I call it, when people talk in my ears, I call it the voice of God. So he's actually live now. We're going to cut there live now. He's talking to me. And he's talking to me live from your booth right now. See, this is live television. When you cut live, they're talking. As you're talking, he's saying to me, the voice of God saying, I can hear you. Yes, God, I know you can hear me. Are we ready to go live
Jeff,
to the booth?
How you doing, sir?
We're not? Wait a minute. There he is. There's Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man? How's it going over there?
It's going well. You were talking in my head like the voice of God, and I was like, where's that voice coming from?
Gotcha.
And I was like, yes, God, I know you can hear me.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, so we're in the StreamStar booth right now, guys, and we've got this is called the X4, right? The 710. Go ahead and talk about it just a little bit. This is it's a pretty sexy device.
Sure, absolutely. So this is the K710. This is like a live production studio, live streaming facility in a portable box. It's light, easy to move around. We have 6 different camera inputs. It's a full service replay system. You pretty much name it, it does it. So we pride ourselves on making things faster, easier, and better. Super simple user interface, can be done with the keyboard and the mouse, but more importantly, everything's touchscreen, totally functional. Someone who hasn't used a live production facility can do this in 10 minutes, learn how to do this in 10 minutes.
So this is a full-on video switcher.
Full-on video switcher. We have 6 inputs. We have cameras up right now. We can do crossfades, direct cuts, any type of transitions you want. It's on a 20-second replay loop, so we capture replays, instantly show them on the device. Super simple to use. Everyone will love it. If you're involved in sports, any type of streaming, this is the device for you, absolutely.
Ryan.
Excellent. Jeff, this is a pretty cool device.
Yes, it is. Real quick, to show people that this is live TV, tell Mike to do a dance. I know Mike, so tell Mike to do a little dance here.
Okay, well, all right, so Mike, we're on live TV, and Jeff is asking you to do a dance.
Go ahead. Mike. There you go. See, there you go. This is live, baby. This ain't tape.
Do a dance.
But hey, Ryan, before you go, can you get to an X4 box? We're talking about the X4 box. Could you go to the X4 box real quick?
Sir. We're gonna walk over there to the X4.
We're selling the X4 today. The 510 is a great unit, though. right?
Yeah,
Because it's got 6 inputs. The H4 rack mount has 4 inputs, but this is the X4 box right here. So walk us through that too, Mike, if you can.
So go
Yeah,
up.
Mike, if you could, go ahead and walk us through this.
Sure, so this
Up
is the
with the
X4
camera.
unit. It's a rack-mounted unit. Unbelievable price point. We have a special on right now for NAB, less than 5K USD. Handles 4 inputs, extremely light, quiet. Like I said, it's a rack-mounted unit. You connect any screen to this. So the screen doesn't come with it, but you can connect any screen. Any type of touch screen works with this as long as it's HD. Full interface. You can see everything on here at the moment. Similar functionality, obviously, as the Case 710 and the 500. Very easy to use, simply easier to user interface, very quality product.
There you go, there you go. Ryan, thanks my man for
Yes,
covering
sir.
this. Thank you so much, Ryan.
All right, hey,
Thanks,
hey,
Mike.
just one quick
Yeah.
note. Anybody that happens to be at the show and watching this, this is SL5520 is the booth.
Yes, push in there. Everybody go to that booth. Say that one more time, Ryan.
SL5520.
Come down and see us.
All right, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate
See
it.
them. Have a good one, Jeff.
All right.
Have a great show.
Yes, so that's the box. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. You know, they were showing the 510 with the 6 inputs. You know, so, you know, the option with the X4, it's 4 inputs.
4 inputs, yeah.
HDMI, SDI.
4 inputs HDMI and 1 input HDMI.
Okay,
And
HDMI.
also IP input for broadcast graphics. So we have another software which is running a laptop and over IP sending broadcast graphics for sports.
Now that's fascinating. I mean, because most of it, I've kind of seen it in operation. You have a separate laptop, and the graphics that you guys created for these sports broadcasts are phenomenal. I mean, you're looking like a high-end sports broadcast there.
What we want to achieve is that even the high school can produce a network-style television quality content. So just to hire the quality and don't hire that much people and don't invest that much in the in the equipment. So just make it.
Yeah, and you know, and it's affordable for high schools because I mean, high school streaming is getting huge with sports, especially our football. I know your football is soccer. We call it soccer here, but you call it football.
Football, yeah.
And but it's you know, our football here, high school is streaming our football games, basketball games. I've seen a couple baseball games. It's really growing, and I think with this unit, it's a great solution. Outside of, I mean, you also sell the software, correct?
Yeah.
So go into the software. So if they can't afford $5,000, but they want the same solution, maybe a little bit downgrade on the price. Talk about the software a little bit.
Basically, software is not limited on any features, so it's full features at the price point of $1,000. So that's not too much for anybody. And with software, we are targeting more of a customers who want to build their solution or have already some existing capture devices and have some workstations. So they just download the software and that's it and buy it and boom, bang, they're live.
That's great. And you know, being a CEO, I ask a lot of CEOs that come up here, right? I want to know, what is it like now leading a company, being a visionary, and moving the company in the future? You got to make everybody happy with it, that works, you know. But you also you have to stay on point. You have to stay on target of your next 5 years of. But you're actually, as a CEO, you're actually always 3 years ahead. You're mentally, your mind. But you got to do the day-to-day workflow. What is that like? Because I'm fascinated with video switchers. I mean, I sleep it. You know, I'm just a nerd like that. But when you're doing these things and you dream up, because you dreamed up the X4 box, correct? And how did that? You know, how did that exactly happen? Were you just laying in bed and you go, I got it?
So when I lie in the bed, my brain is probably working another 2-3 hours. So the hardest part is that you are focusing on something, and you have to still watching the industry and have a real balance between what's your focus and what is the industry doing, and but the most important thing is that you stay focused, because otherwise you start doing this, and this,
right.
And then you destroy yourself, like destroy personally and destroy the company. The balance is the balance and the focus is very important.
You're so right about that. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from anybody at NAB, but I've noticed a lot of times what I like about StreamStar is you guys are focusing on the sports market, which is fantastic. I mean, it's a solution that you can use you know, as obviously in churches or, you know, a small new media student, but you said we're sports.
Yeah.
And a lot of these booths like, hey, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And for me, I'm like, I just need to know what you guys excel in. You guys excel really well in sports. Let's talk about some of the soccer games, your football games that you've covered over there.
For like we've in 2014 we done a big project in Italy. We are covering 1,500 games live per year, and it's a third Italian league. So you can imagine third league.
Yeah.
So you will say not many fans, not many viewers. No, that's exactly the market we are targeting. So they can afford to stream live all the games at the same time. And just an example of this, it's 1,500,000 games per year. And every week, 1.5 million Italians watch third league live. So you can see that it's not like in our country, third league will never be on live, but Italy, it's like a religion. Soccer, number one. It's religion, more than Pope.
Really?
Yeah, believe me.
So they did it, you know.
It's more.
And watch, yeah. I mean,
soccer.
It really is. I mean, I look at it like the Switcher 2 for like, you know, semi-pro leagues here in the stateside. They can't go out and spend, you know, $100,000 on a system, and this is really affordable system for them to come in and do stream their games.
But I want to go back to that Italian project, because what was unique in 2014, and now everybody's talking about IP. And in 2014, this project is a remote project.
Yeah.
So all 63 stadiums are covered with KSAT antennas and just pushing the IP feeds to the central location. There are 20 hours of systems, and the director sitting there, the graphics guy and commentator are remote in Milan, and they're all in the different stadiums just with the camcorders.
That's incredible.
So that's it. That was our first remote production. So that's our vision.
We'll talk about that a little bit too. You talked about you know, I know it's not stateside yet, but your JVC deal with the unit and the wireless cameras that you can use. Let's get into that real quick.
So basically, you can connect the JVC camcorder, and you can control it over IP. So focus, all kind of zoom and all this stuff. We can use the telelight of the cameras over IP. So if you have more cameras in the row, so when you are switching, we are using the record light as a telelight. We take control of it. And also the most important thing is you can receive their IP signals from their camera built-in encoder to our unit. So it's already a remote production solution.
Well, let me ask you this. I've asked a lot of people the same question, and the big hot item now for streaming is obviously Facebook Live. You know, it's stateside. Everybody's like, woo-hoo, you know, and people on their phones like, look at me. Yeah. I find it fascinating because it is Facebook, but it's like, you know, I don't think it's going to die down. Like we had Periscope, Meerkat. Meerkat launched at South by Southwest last year, and then Periscope popped up, and then everybody goes, Meerkat what? I don't think it's my perspective. I don't think it's a fad because it's Facebook. But what do you see, like where you sit, with people that are getting addicted to internet streaming? Because I believe it's going to open up, and this is great for StreamStar, by the way. I believe it's going to open up a new world of people that have a hobby with video streaming. It's almost like musicians here in the United States. They go to Guitar Center and buy a new guitar. They may not be a professional musician, but they'll go get the gear. What do you think about that?
What I think about the Facebook Live?
Yes.
So pretty nice. We were expecting that they will do something because the video is growing as a huge segment, and especially after the VOD video on the internet live, the next thing, or is already on there, is already there. But I see like two sides of the story, because one side is that it's Facebook, so you are giving the data and the audience and the traffic to Facebook.
Right.
That's the people who will do there. It's more of a brand, more of a super fast shooting from the cell phone. Go there. But if somebody have a nice content, I would not say they go Facebook. They will build their audience on their platform, on their website, and don't give the data to Facebook. Just keep for themselves. So it's a nice thing, but I see this for promoting the brands and doing a news gathering.
Right.
That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kind of like a pre-show, after-show. Go to some other site.
Maybe, yeah.
You know,
Maybe, yeah.
A little social media marketing. Real quick, can I share? Can we get personal real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, can I talk about my trip to Slovakia?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got like 5 minutes here, but we went over to Slovakia, right? And we were in a meeting, right? And these guys, Vladimir, what's up, man? You doing good? All right, so I don't know. I mean, let's talk about what exactly happened at 9 a.m. I saw it, and we did. You have a custom there. You have a custom for New Traditions. Explain the custom that we shared together.
Oh, which one you mean?
The salute.
Oh, okay. So if a guest come to Slovakia, we give him some hard alcohol.
Yes.
And some piece of bread. So that's our tradition.
But
we miss the piece of bread. We take the important part. Yeah?
I didn't see the piece of bread.
Yeah. Because you drink so much.
Yeah, maybe I do. But that was amazing. I got to experience a whole new culture. And Slovakia is an amazing place. I have never been there before. It's a very beautiful city. And let me tell you something. I thought I was in L.A. and the women there, my goodness, they're absolutely beautiful.
There is one joke when you are sitting in a cafeteria, and somebody tell you, "Oh, what a nice girl," and somebody say, "What a nice girl, we're coming," and you missed it, and you tell, "Oh, in 5 minutes there will be coming another one." So you don't need to turn around.
Exactly. You know how I experienced that? I was meeting you guys for dinner, and I did an Instagram picture. I did a hashtag, and it was the city, and I looked at the hashtag, and every picture on the Instagram feed was all beautiful women. I'm like, what in the world's going on here? And then I walked outside. I go, this can't be real. I'm not even exaggerating. The women in Slovakia are absolutely beautiful. They're all models. It's ridiculous. It's great for video streaming. I don't know why I went there, but it's. But you know, Rado, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
And Vladimir, man, you should have just saw what happened. We went live to the booth. It was freaking awesome, man. Did you guys see that? Did you guys enjoy that presentation? Are you guys enjoying your coffee break out there? You know, sitting here watching bad cable television? He's like, I don't know. You falling asleep? I saw you nodding off there a minute ago. You're not having coffee. You need to get coffee. Because, you know, I don't mind you sitting on the couches, but when people doze off, no, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. But this is NAB Live 2016. I am Jeff Adams, and we're going to take a short break here in a few minutes. And but I want to remind you that all week long we're broadcasting live here, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lots to cover. We're covering so many things, but we're going to take a break here in the next few minutes. My producer just ran off, and did she have to go pee? Did the producer have to go pee? So I have to stall? Oh, she's right there. Okay. So are we good for break? Okay, let's go to break. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael Kim of 120 Sports. You're watching NAB Show Live.
Live from Las Vegas, this is NAB Show Live, produced by Broadcast Beat. Here's your host, Jeff Adams.
I like that a lot. Yes, thank you. I am Jeff Adams here at NAB Live 2016. You know, the beauty of live streaming is a wonderful thing. So we've got to get right to our live remote. And Ryan, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you, sir.
You were at the New Tech booth, correct?
Oh, that is correct. Yes, I'm with Jason Pruitt at New Tech. It's a little loud in here. South Lower is slamming.
Yes. Tell us about this, the talk of the town, the NDI.
Yeah, so Jason, I've got Jeff Adams in the studio right now. He wants to talk about NDI.
Okay, so NDI, our Network Device Interface Protocol, which is developed by New Tech for video over IP. And new at the show, we have TriCaster Advanced Edition version 2, which integrates NDI into all of our existing TriCaster systems, and from the TriCaster 8000 down to the TriCaster Mini. What we have here is a TriCaster 460 with Advanced Edition version 2. And you can see here I've got all of my NDI sources on the network from all of our pods around the booth. So those are all the inputs and outputs, and you can see here with my input, I've got all of those sources there, and I'm able to see those. Scroll down, I can pick any one of those, use them as an input in my live production. Let's take this actually from here as being using one of our NDI apps, the NDI for Adobe Creative Cloud. I've got an Adobe Premiere Pro feed right from the timeline of one of our laptops that are here at the pods. And you can do that for every input on the system. So with TriCaster Advanced Edition version 2, you're not just connecting hardware inputs on the back, and then you also have additional inputs there. So every input you have can be configured for a hardware source or an NDI video source coming in over the network. So I can do a production completely over IP with an existing TriCaster with TriCaster Advanced Edition version 2. And then you can have all those sources coming in, and then you can also output from the system over IP as well. So what I have here is being sent out to all of these pods anywhere on the network. So that could be, within a facility. It could be on, for example, a college campus where you have different locations that are connected to the same network. They can share inputs. You can switch using different inputs from different areas, and then you can bring those all into your production and really interconnect your workflow over IP using TriCaster. And then we also have other software applications such as NewTek Connect Pro, which actually bridges IP formats to include NDI, SMPTE 2022, and Aspen as well. It works with IP cameras and capture cards from manufacturers all over, and you're able to use those sources all as in one production. Formats and standards don't matter to it. It speaks them all. It allows you to really kind of brings all those together and kind of serves as the glue to allow you to work with all of these different products and really expand your workflow possibilities and the opportunities you have with your productions.
Fantastic, fantastic. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Ryan, thanks for your time, man. I'm going to get right to the nuts and bolts on this thing. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, I'll see you guys at 12.
All right. Awesome. That's NDI with NewTek, and I'm here with Will Waters. Actually, he is the Director of Professional Services at NewTek. Funny story is, Philip was supposed to come in, Philip Nelson.
He was.
And he sent me an email and goes, sorry, I can't come, I got to meet with the NFL. And I was like, you know what, if you got to meet with the NFL, doing bad cable television, to the point now, so I understand. You got to go meet with the NFL. So Will, how long have you been with NewTek?
I've been with NewTek now, on payroll 6 years, but been part of the NewTek family for a lot longer before that. So.
Wow. And before the 6 years, how were you involved with the family?
I worked with integration, doing video systems design for customers, actually building solutions that ran the range. Those in education, house of worship, broadcast, really putting the things together that were necessary for customers to produce video. And that was a really good time because that's when really internet streaming and the whole IP revolution really started. So there's a lot of talk about it now, but this has in many ways been a long time coming.
That's what Rado was saying earlier, from StreamStar. And so let's get really right into it. I mean, what I really want to do, I mean, from a technical standpoint, a lot of technical people want to get to the nuts and bolts, but let's say for the average person that's really getting into a TriCaster, let's really try to explain it to a level where people can really embrace and understand that.
Sure. Well, the thing about IP technology is that it's really a fantastic format to be able to move data from place to place. And if we expand that out beyond just what we're doing here from video enthusiasm, is that we're immersed in a full IP world already. The internet has been really arguably the biggest thing that humanity has ever done in many ways in connecting everything together. So even if you take the phone, I see people in the audience, they have their phones and working with that around the show, doing all that. All these devices are connected in some way to a great cloud, if you will, or to the internet. Well, the thing about what the internet does is it doesn't care what format is going on. You go to a web page and you download an Excel or a PDF or whatever it is, the format doesn't matter, but the transmission method is already there. So let's bring that back into our video space.
Yes.
And when we talk about that, there's a lot of things coming up to this show about, well, what format should it be and what resolution can we support? And we have HD, we have 4K, we have 8K, we have HDR. What do we want to decide on this? And we think about it, you're a content producer and you're working out this from the economics of it, and you don't want to invest in something that, well, no one's going to use or be irrelevant in a very short time. And as the way things are moving now, it's very quickly. But what IP delivers, it's not just a change in the way that production, like say it's transported for video from source device to receiving device.
it changes potentially the way that production is done in general, because now your camera potentially has the ability to say, oh, I'm connected to that same network to my switching device. They know, the source device can know, because this is bidirectional, what's happening on the other end, and we can start doing things from a management standpoint of the network, or grabbing sources to tell the story.
Globally, ultimately,
well,
right?
Ultimately globally. I mean, there are some challenges, of course, and that takes time, but those are challenges you can look into the future and say, well, that's solvable, because that becomes just bandwidth and connections and various things like that. But if you think about it this way, and this is what new tech is really doing from an IP standpoint, you just saw some demonstration at the booth where Jason stated that the TriCasters are connected to all the other TriCasters. So think about it from this standpoint. We have a gigabit network there set up. And keep that in mind. That's a really important thing. That all of the I/O on every TriCaster, so every physical camera input, is now available as a source to every other TriCaster.
That's amazing. Via
that gigabit network. And I'll even go a step beyond that. Over in the studio experience, which is actually 3 rows over in the south lower hall there, all of those devices are now connected via NDI, the network device interface, through a gigabit, through an Ethernet connection, and everything can see everything. So inputs, outputs, suddenly it becomes this matrix of sources. And why is that important? Well, from a content, a storyteller standpoint, you can now take, and the technology doesn't get in the way of the story that you need to present. You just say, I need this here, I need that extra camera here, I need, whatever the live, or well, you were using, I believe, live view to actually get that source back.
So TV.
Oh, TV view. So, excuse me, TV view, which you're a great product on that, but all of this stuff is now moving across the same transmission method.
Right.
And that's the thing, we get beyond formats and everything like that. We actually have decided on a format. It's called the Ether, or the Ethernet. Now, if it's gigabit, 10 gigabit, whatever, the idea is to become transparent to the storyteller so that you can do the production that makes sense for your audience.
Yeah, I just, the envision of it is, every content producer, or you're producing a show, like I know you guys work with Glenn Beck. They've got a TriCaster. So any solution from a producer standpoint, or if you're a content creator doing live broadcast, the flexibility to be able to pull in what you need at that time is flipping amazing. I mean, it's to me, doing live shows like this. I normally, I have a switcher in front of me. I'm running a radio board. I'm watching a radio stream. I'm taking phone calls. But in the times past, I had to have everything set. But with this ability now, on the fly, I can do things in a live format and be okay.
Well, absolutely, and to your point, just in that description, I mean, think about this. You have a lot of things going on in the example you just gave, but the technology needs to become transparent to what you're doing, because your viewers are interested in what it is that you're delivering to them, not how you're delivering it to them. Now, you get into those questions of what you want to do, and then the how and the why why you want to do it. And then the how to make that happen really comes behind it. But I'll give you a quick example about how NDI is already changing things, because this isn't a technology that's coming. This is available now, and TriCasters from a new tech standpoint are now enabled for that. But with NDI, we released this to the industry back in September saying, hey, here's an open protocol, because we've actually been doing this for 10 years now. But we looked at seeing, again, this paradigm shift. Well, since that time, we've had over 500 downloads to our SDK.
Wow.
And it's a freely open available. I mean, you can go to the ndi.newtek.com and get that, no problem. But competitors, end users, independent developers, vendors that in the industry, they've really embraced this. And even coming into this show, we have over 20 new announcements of products that now are available. So, because I'm a numbers guy, I'll just throw a metric at you that, it seems crazy, but we announced that in September. By our count today, there are over 1 million devices that are NDI enabled in the market, in the field, actually sitting with customers. They may not even realize it. So it's a huge paradigm shift that they can also utilize their existing gigabit infrastructure to be able to start moving video back and forth. So, as far as the traditional way of thinking about video, I mean, the future is now, we're in it.
Exactly. It's, you know, and it's really, really amazing. Well, let's talk about some of the features. The cool thing that amazed me, let's talk about the Adobe feature.
Absolutely, it plays right into it because, okay, think about this. You know, you're an editor, you're working on a timeline in Adobe Premiere Pro. You know, a great product in that way, but there's a certain element that comes to, okay, you have your timeline built, and you need to render that out, and then it has to upload to potentially a server, whether it's locally or out in the cloud or what have you. And there's a step there that maybe for review that you have another producer. Say you're a producer and you're working with your editor. Well, there's a time that takes to get that done.
Right.
And you know your deadline typically for your show is still always coming.
Yes.
Well, think about this. That Premiere Pro station, the Adobe Premiere Pro station, is connected to your desktop by some connection. You know. With NDI, it's a new plugin that we have, NewTek NDI for Adobe Creative Cloud. It allows you to reach right into that timeline, and basically, as the editor is scrubbing on the timeline even, or playback, you can see the output of that via the ether directly, immediately, with less than 1 frame of latency. So
that's incredible.
that eliminates potential render and upload, especially on the content review and approval. But you potentially, for just-in-time needs, you could go directly to your video switch if you needed to. Now, you know, I know some might be a little conservative and say, well, you know, let's think about that, but the potential is there. And that's why production with IP changes. You know, if you think about the time, the effort, where they're coming from, I mean, we can even take the camera on the phone,
right,
and it's connected already in talking the same language. So NDI cams available on the phones directly into the production switcher without any extra infrastructure.
I mean, it's great. I mean, if you do more like a talk show, like what we're doing right now, literally, with NDI, I could literally talk to the producer, and Liz could pull up her webcam literally, and I could talk to her, and she could be part of the show.
Part of the show immediately. So that's the thing. All of this stuff is available. It's in the market. It's there today. It's NewTek. This is what NewTek does. We create products that allow storytellers to have a voice through video. And we look at it from a way, you know, the technology, we love the technology. I mean, we're enthusiasts. We all are. That's part of why we're at the show. But ultimately, those that consume it, you know, how do they care, you know, how it gets to them? They want to consume the content.
Right.
And so ultimately, you need to be able to have the tools that allow you to do that, because we're all in situations where there's more content. I think we all agree that there's more video content available, whether it's, as you say, the cable TV show or whatever.
Right.
But budgets are always being compressed.
Always.
And you need to be able to produce more with less. And you know, that's the problem that we're looking to solve.
Yeah, and let's get a little bit into the talk shows. I mean, we were talking about, before we went on air, I had the new media company I worked for, I had 2 talk shows operational. Let's talk about the new updates with the talk show.
Well, yeah, a year ago, NewTek worked with Microsoft.
Yes.
With their Skype and media team, which, you know, Skype is a wonderful platform to do video calls back and forth. I mean, we've all know it and how to use it. But with Skype and media, you know, it allows our broadcaster to, again, reach out into the world and start telling stories in a different way, be able to bring contributors in through the vast network of Skype into the video production. But there are some challenges that are faced with that. You know, when you use a program that's running just on the standard application, you might have, you know, the screen pop up as, you know,
right.
Hopefully not an error, but maybe the call dropped or something, you know. While everything's connected, you know, there's those challenges we run into. Well, there are certain needs that you have from a production standpoint that you want to keep that together. And so we came out with a product with Microsoft, and it's with Skype TX called Talk Show. Now, that was a single channel a year ago. It has color correction, it has HD SDI on it, it supports NDI. So you can pretty much work in whatever world you need to. But this year, there's a new version of Skype TX called Skype TX 4. Now, it's a great update on the Skype side for Microsoft. But NewTek, for the hardware side, has the VS4000, which does 4 Skype calls simultaneously.
Wow.
But including mixed minuses, so that you can bring that in your production switch and, you know, have everybody talking to everybody. So effectively, you know, we were here in a talk show format. You know, we could be bringing people in and contributing pretty much.
And what is that like? Like, you can have 4 guest on at one time, so it's like the box thing, or what does that look like?
Well, that ultimately, that's however you want to set it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we saw a double box,
Right.
what we call in the industry a double box
Yeah.
effect earlier. So you could set multiple ones up. At the New Tech booth, we're doing a demonstration where we have our local presenter, and he's effectively doing a talk show with 4 remote guests. So, and you can move those around, and that happens as the way you manipulate the video on screen. So. You can pipe it together any way you like it, but this is really where the advantage comes in, is that where your content is sourced from is connected to where you need it, and
Right.
maybe in ways like typically we think of a funnel, right, where all these sources and it's kind of coming down into a single point. But with IP, that gives us the ability to pretty much have all sources to multiple destinations. Destinations become sources for other destinations, and it becomes this matrix. So there's an abstraction layer that's hard to visualize,
Right.
but it changes the potential for how to tell the story. You can get a camera in a place that gives you a different angle or a different viewpoint, or you might have like you're working with a packaged content, but that it needs to have something changed. Where we used to have to just cut it from the show, that could be changed and immediately piped in. So different things like that. It's a new way of telling the story.
Well, you're definitely a visionary. I mean, you've been moving this stuff. So let me ask you this: with this new technology, I know this is a crazy question. Where do you, with this embracing this new technology that's available today, where do you see this in 5 years? I mean, I can't even wrap my mind to what you're telling me right now. So I'm trying to picture 5 years ahead. What would that look like?
That is a challenge, right? I mean, we sit around at New Tech and we very much spend a lot of time on, well, what is the industry going to be in 5 years? How are people going to be utilizing the product? But there are different things that we could say and predict and do whatever. But I just ask you this: before the internet, who could think about what we do with the internet? Before, you were talking about Facebook in the segment earlier.
Yeah.
Before Facebook, who talked about Facebook? I mean,
Right.
the concept just really wasn't permutating through the collective consciousness at that point. So where it gets to, well, I'll tell you this. This is the long way to answer the question. Our company founder back in the 80s, Tim Jennison, way back then, the company started on doing video production on standard computer components. He made a statement back then. He said, in the future, your favorite show will be made by you or someone you know.
Wow.
So we're really at that point today. I mean, if we go beyond just what we think about traditional linear broadcast, think of the gaming world. Think of, Twitch is one of those platforms and everything. I even look at my friends, kids and doing different things, and they just watch other people play games. I mean, that's their broadcast in many ways. But they know those people that are playing those games. So that reality is actually true, not still in the future, but today. So you say, what is 5 years from now? Well, I think it's something that we're all collectively going to get to, but that's where IP is a paradigm shift that pretty much enables that.
Wow. My mind's blown, dude. It's just like...
It's a great time. It's a great time for the industry, really.
It really is. I mean, and we got 2 minutes here, but
okay.
What do you think about Facebook Live?
Facebook Live, that's an interesting thing, and we've actually had a lot of questions about it. Of course, it's a platform that is in many ways ubiquitous. As far as getting that out, and it's great for branding and doing some different things. Now, New Tech has been working with Facebook as far as being able to cut off clips and putting them up to your feed for quite some time. But Facebook Live is interesting because that now delivers that live element to it. I think one of the challenges that you have, and I haven't talked with Facebook on this at all, but right now there's a certain API that you work with, and most of that is on that mobile device and doing some different things. And I know that there's broadcasters or content producers that have even had multiple mobile devices or whatever. We got to get beyond just the mobile devices being the on-ramp to that.
Right.
So where that goes in the future, I don't know. But from a branding standpoint, the platform is there. It is ubiquitous. It's a very interesting concept. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Well, Will, man, mind blown. Thanks I know you're busy. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Will from New Tech. Go check them out. What's the booth number?
Let me get this right.
Yeah.
SL5817.
Go check them out.
South Lower.
Go check them out, New Tech. Once again, you're watching NAB Live Show 2016, produced by Broadcast Beat. I am Jeff Adams, and Monday But so we're Tuesday now. So Tuesday through Thursday now, we're broadcasting live 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're covering all kinds of stuff. You like cameras, you like gear, we're covering it all, folks. So check it out. Liz, are we good to go? We're good to go? All right, guys, we'll see you soon.